So hi, I'm Anna. You might know me as DevMiner. I'm doing development, DevOps, and sysadmin stuff at work, and also my free time help. I'm also chronically online, so if you have questions later, just ask me in Discord or find me here. I'm a self-educated developer, and I basically look into every single thing that can happen with technology. So my agenda is I want to first discuss why we actually want type-safe REST APIs from backend to frontend, and actually maybe also other projects that might not actually be in TypeScript. Then I want to show my first attempt at this with Zod, and then I want to show effect schema and type.rest, which is my new thing for solving all of this. So we have a Minecraft I had a Minecraft project. We built a website and a Discord bot, and two plugins. They're written in Java. The rest is written in TypeScript because I'm kind of sane. So we needed full type-safe REST APIs because our plugin is doing the same things the website is using. So we essentially built a wrapper around effect schema. So meme, obligatory meme that it should be super easy, right? Right? No, that's not right. It's not easy. So what we want deduplicated types, so we don't have to do as whatever or have a schema that it's just a TypeScript type definition. We want proper parsing of request bodies and responses, and we want actually good autocomplete without having to manually enter this should be this type. All right. So the vanilla JS way would be we write our request handler in, for example, Next.js. This is the Next.js API routes thing from Pages Router, because I made the slides a couple while ago. So we first do our validation here, and then we just have our fetch here. So what can go wrong? You have to manually set what method should be used. You have to do validation yourself. I hope you actually get the correct thing from your body, and you have to, you have to essentially destructure your object and restructure it back without types. Make sure that you actually use the correct fetch method, otherwise it's going to blow up. Make sure that you actually use JSON and actually pass the correct thing, and that you get the correct thing back. So my first prototype was, as I said, built in Zod. Zod only has deserialization, so you can only, for example, transform an environment variable, which is always a string, into a number, but not the way back. And we had to do lots of manual error handling. So we start with our schema, which is just normal Zod. I'm going to pin that up there because just the types, it's too much. Then we write our handler, our schema, our request handler. There we go. So it's just almost like the same thing, but it's a parse. This is going to blow up if you pass the wrong thing in, which might result in a 500. But if you're in a dev server of Next.js, it might actually blow up with a 500 error and return HTML back. What? Why is that the default behavior? At least on Next.js 12, where our page was written. So you still have types, so you can use satisfies now, which is pretty cool. You can also use as, but I prefer satisfies. And you write your client, which is just also a fetch with, your satisfies. But now you have all of these satisfies. You actually have to provide the correct things everywhere. Oh, I missed some highlighting part there. Cool. But you actually, now you can get at least some parsing, which is cool. So welcome to effect schema. So as Jess mentioned earlier, you get extremely powerful schema validation and also the transformation part. So for example, we can turn a date into a string, and then, so essentially I call this the hydrated type, and this is the dehydrated type. It's not quite what the effect team wants, but I think it makes sense for the most React developers. So we essentially have the date as our hydrated type, and then we can actually put this into a string when it's blown through JSON and then can get converted back. I want to thank Gino and Ethan from, Ethan is back there, and Gino from another Discord server for showing me this library and the community. It's amazing, and yeah. The docs, if you need more information, just look at the README, it's amazing. Okay, so typed address is my solution for this. You essentially create your schema. It's a little more to type, but you essentially just give it the path in your API. You give it what methods it should be used and what the request and response headers are, or well, not headers, the bodies. You can also like ignore the request if you're doing a body. If you're doing a get requests don't have bodies, at least not request bodies. So yeah, I'm gonna pin the types up there. So we can just create a Next.js pages handler, which is just getting the schema and returning a thing. Yeah, and we can also generate a client from that, which is just simple to use, I guess. It's still in early alpha, so I need a TypeScript magic man to help me later with generics, but yeah. Yeah, so we actually do automatic error handling, which is just try catch. Well, it's try catch around all your error handlers, and we actually have a custom error type or result type. So you can actually do proper error handling instead of try catching around your thing and hoping that it doesn't blow up. Yeah, so let me actually go into small demos, which I can like sort of hover over things. So we have our schema up here. In this case, it's a get request instead of, you know, a post request. So yeah, we essentially have the pages demo app here, and we have the server on the left side, which will essentially like just return that string. And here's a little thing that TK Dodo might appreciate. Yeah, so we can just like create a client on our origin and, you know, just get our object. And we get the full discriminated union, which the archetype person explained. Sorry, I'm missing names. But yeah, you can essentially only access the error or the data if you actually check what it is. Otherwise, it's gonna just show you that, yeah, I don't know what it is. So yeah, that was my key takeaways from this are you can use effect schema without having to actually adopt schema, or well, no, without having to adopt effect. So as you can probably see, like there is no effect magic in here actually. Like it's just vanilla JavaScript or TypeScript, but yeah. And also the effect schema and all the other packages and the community are amazing. Thank you all. So yeah.